Greetings, my loved ones. That's my word. I am Lord AGAM ELLIS, the divine and human, inner and outer, spiritual, living egg master. And I represent the teachings of Eckankar. I don't represent any religion. So let me state up front, the religion of the light and sound that has this logo, the Eckankar logo, does not teach the teachings of Eckankar. Its leader, Sri Harold Klemp, teaches his students from his books. The teachings of Eckankar are in the books by Sri Paul Twitchell, and those are the books that contain the purest of truth that are here. Now, in the beginning, in my quest for the truth, when that door opened and telepathy came online, I said, I want to speak to God. I don't want to speak to another human. That would only be parlor tricks. And it came on the line. And I was told that I must fulfill a request in order to receive the knowledge that I sought. And I was told that I would know that teaching when I found it, because it would be based on my life experiences, all the things that had happened in my life of a super paranormal nature. So it was like looking for a needle in a haystack for me. Now, since I did not know what I was looking for, I just knew what I wasn't looking for. So I knew I did not have to look for it in any religion. Now, this is for the world, and it's mainly for those students of Harold Klemp's in the religion of the light and sound. Now, let me state this here and now, that I am eternally grateful to Harold Klemp for keeping the teachings of Eckankar intact so that they would be here for me when I arrived. So for that, I am eternally grateful to him. He did his part in that area. However, I doubt if his students even know what the true teachings of Eckankar are. Now, when I found this teaching, I was told that its torchbearer was a man or a being by the name of Sri Rebazartaris. He was the torchbearer of this teaching that passed it on to his student, Sri Pedarzak Paul Twitchell, who then transcribed it into books because he had the spiritual ability to do that, to leave the body, go to another level of heaven, and transcribe what he saw, heard, and knew. Now, I was told that this Rebazartaris was over 600 years old. Now, I've never been a sucker. I've never been that gullible to just accept anything that anybody say because they say it. And even though everything else matched my experience to the letter, I still could not get my mind around a 600-year-old man. So I said to the Spirit, because I speak directly to the Spirit, it is within me. It is my link to my Father, the Most High. And I said, I cannot understand that. And I will not allow a long-handled spoon with something on it to be pushed down my throat. And you tell me to swallow, and I do so. I just can't get my mind around that. So you have to prove that to me like you have proven everything else. Make me know that. And this is what I did. So about many years later, I was sitting and watching a program, and this guy told me that President Obama and the Chancellor of Canada had felt that the people were able and capable of accepting and knowing the truth, part of it anyway, that the extraterrestrials are here, and that the Roswell crash was indeed true. Now, I got a buzzing in my ears to perk up and pay attention, but I still didn't know what that had to do with anything, so I just observed like I always do. I shut up and listen. And then the TV, I'm not going to say it turned itself on. I just put it like this. I went to sleep and a program was on. And it was this guy named Charles Hall. And he was speaking about the tall whites. That he was the individual that lived out there in Area 51, 53, and 54 with these extraterrestrials. And that in his talk, he stated that these beings get over 7, 8, and 9 feet tall, and they live 6, 7, and 800 years of age. Now, when I heard him say that, boom! The gong went off. The realization was complete. Like I say, if you cannot prove it to me, it is not going to be my reality. I'm not that kind of sucker, and I'm not that gullible, and I definitely am not hypnotized by that lie that you know as the devil. So anyway, when this occurred, that realization occurred for me as well. Now I knew that the torchbearer was here now. Right now. And his capabilities are those that are so great, he could be right behind me right now, and my physical senses not even perceive him. This I know. And this, the teachings of Eckankar has taught me. It has taught me many things. But to make this as direct as I can, because this is what I intend to do here tonight, is be direct with you. Because I am speaking to the soul through the human consciousness. And we penetrate, dominate, regulate, and educate the human consciousness to awaken the soul to realize its divine heritage and let it know that the God of all gods the Father of all fathers, wants it to come back home because it's a part of him. He issued a mandate that soul must evolve. He said, I don't care about the shell. I'm not interested in the body or their likes, wants, dislikes, choices. This is my mandate, and I want you to bring them by any means necessary. And in this manner, this is why I'm speaking right here now. This is my way, Ellis, with Lord AGAM ELLIS, within. This is my way. This is my voice. I will demonstrate everything that I say. And any and everything I say, I can prove. So that realization for me concerning the torchbearer was a great one that gave me even more confidence. So to the students of the religion of the light and sound, if you studied the books by Sri Paul Twitchell, you would be studying the teachings of Eckankar. But to study only the books by Harold Klemp, you're studying the teachings of Harold Klemp. And every religion has to have control. It must equally yoke its followers so that they can be controlled as a herd. The individuality is taken away. You know, I had the guy that makes up those little old bitty insulting EK pendants for that religion ask me, did I get permission to have my pendant made? I looked at him like the fool that he was and said, do you study the teachings of Eckankar? I can do whatever I choose. No man tells me what I can and cannot do. With my own spirit. So anyway, moving past that, I am saying this to them directly and hoping that they will, now that the help that my Father has also commanded to make that happen, now that they are involved directly, perhaps now you'll let go of that false security that you thought you had. Can't no preacher save your soul because he can't save his own. And besides, save it from what? I'm trying to save it from the lies that soul has been hypnotized with. Because this will happen, like it or not. You can call another aspect of what I'm speaking about Illuminati or anything, any name, any Freemason or whatever that the leaders are doing. You can call it whatever you want. But my Father's mandate will be executed. There ain't no doubt about that. Now, people wonder about and are speaking about the little picture, about Obama being this and him being that. Don't you know that the extraterrestrials were here long before humans? No human runs this world. Humans obey the extraterrestrials' commands. because they could destroy them in a heartbeat. But by them being high developed beings, they allow humans to run around in their little world, thinking that they run it and have some power, but all they got is control. And they don't even have control over themselves, just somebody else. But they allow them to run around in it and do that, but they runs it. They ran it long before you got here. And I'm not even interested in whether they'll be running it after I leave here, because I broke my attachment to it. I broke my contract. I had to lose the mind in order to enter into the spiritual heavens, because the mind cannot go there. The mind is dualistic, so it had to stay in the dualistic realm. I no longer needed that apparatus. I could move and have my being as soul by direct perception. I could see, know, and be free. You know, I paid a hell of a price for this. I paid one hell of a price that if I had to do it all over again, I'm not going to tell you I wouldn't do it because I would, because I said I wouldn't when I had to do it, but I done it anyway because I had no choice. And I can say now that I went through it to get to it, it was definitely worth it. As my father stated in the teachings of Eckankar, he don't want to have some fluffy, pretty emotion to greet you with when you get back home. No, that'll be left here on the astral world with that love all those religions are talking about. Yeah, that ain't nothing but that astral love, the next level beyond this one. We're talking about over the mind, over the etheric plane. See, I don't have time to try to teach you the teachings of Eckankar. You'll have to do that for yourself if that's what you choose to. And believe me, after this upheaval with this new world order, believe me, you'll be reaching for them because you won't have nothing to cling to. You'll find that all of that you thought you knew was a lie. And what will you have then? Now you'll reach for the truth, because that's the only thing that can do anything for you. It can let that blazing golden red, fiery, blue and white light get rid of the illusion for you. That fear that you will have and that you got will dissipate. And soul will see, and the mind will see, and all of the other bodies will know that it was a lie, because you will have then been dehypnotized. So that is where and what I have to say in that direction. The other direction is this. The greatest book that helped me the most was The Tiger's Fang. Now, this experience that Sri Paul Twitchell had on his journey through the spiritual heavens all the way up to the higher heavens above right at the level of Lord AGAM, the power of it all, into and looking at the ocean of love and mercy, Sugma, God of all gods, my Father, couldn't enter into that realm there. See, there's greater and greater and greater and greater. There's always another step to be taken. It's forever expanded in consciousness. But the greatest book was The Tiger's Fang. He let one know of his experience. But what I found most attractive and beautiful about that was the ruler of each plane and what that ruler had to say. By me accepting what was being said as truth, I was able to grasp what was being said. I wasn't trying to compare what was being said with some other stupid foolishness that I had in my head. Oh, that matches this. Yeah, it says that in that my Bible or book too, or whatever. No, I listen to what each ruler or each God. There's a God on every level, and in most people's belief system, there's a devil on every level too. So that's their house, not mine. But I listened to what they had to say. And this is what gave me the greatest insight into the whole, not the part, but the whole. See, you may see the big picture when you see the Illuminati and the New World Order. You might grasp the big picture, but there's an even bigger picture that you probably won't grasp until it is a reality in your face, in your life. But there'll be many that will still say, I don't believe it. Well, you'll believe it. But that's basically what you did when you had all them choices. You know, you choose not to accept the truth. I'm comfortable with this lie, you would say. If I give up this lie, I won't have nothing. What will I have to cling to? Well, the extraterrestrials and their capabilities far exceed Jesus's by Jesus is a schoolboy compared to these beings, but they're far more developed. So I used to tell them when they would look up at the sky and point up, talking about my God coming back to get me. I said, if he come from that direction, he will be extraterrestrial. If he come from out of the sky to get you, and you constantly looking up in the sky when you talk about God or him, he'll be extraterrestrial. Because if he don't come from within you, then it ain't going to be your God. Because it won't be the soul. The soul is what we come for. The soul must evolve. And I give it unconditional love no matter what you have ever done. No matter how atrocious, no matter how perverted, no matter how evil, no matter how great, no matter how good, no matter how wonderful you have ever been, my love for you is unconditional because you're a part of me. And you're a part of my Father. And my Father is the supreme ruler. And I am his humble servant and agent. I am Lord AGAM ELLIS. And I represent the teachings of Eckankar based upon what I could get from them. See, I don't have no organized plan or format to do what I do. I just turn the camera on, the phone, the tablet, or whatever on, and do what I do. See, because I live what I talk about. So what I talk about is what I am. I walk it like I talk it. I demonstrate what I talk about, as my father said. Pay no attention to what come out of their mouth, because they're all liars. All humans are liars. Observe what they demonstrate. Therein you'll find the truth. They'll lie when there's not even a reason to lie. It's an automatic thing with them. That's because there's a box in the throat. We call it a lion box. You don't know nothing about that. You don't study the teaching of Eckankar. See, that is a well-rounded teaching that teaches one about the whole self. The body, the mind, and the soul. So, I believe that's enough for now for me to put in this. I was on the idea that this would be the last video that I would do. Now, these are all my creations, my ideas, manifested. This is my X symbol. Because you see, I haven't spoke to you about my divine goddesses yet. Oh, that equinox. My divine goddesses are right beside me all the time. I never leave home without them, and they're always at home with me. But the one behind me, behind my head, that's that power base there, that golden red, that, right behind my head. His name is Kundalini, and he executes for me. Yes. And this is what I do. I love the life I live, and I live the life that I love. It's not your life, it's my life. So, find God in you by making contact with the soul, and let it be your go-between. And come out of that, well, the church gonna crumble anyway, because that lie is gonna be destroyed. But at any rate, you got everything you need right inside. You got God inside of you, human. You got soul thinking it's a human. Soul is a divine being. It's not human. It is an alien to this world. Just got a human body that it manifested to come into, to be here, to go around, move around, do things in this world. It needed a coarse vibratory body to be able to stand the harsh vibrations here. This power comes through me at some times so awesome that before I turned this camera on, I didn't know if I would be able to sit here and do this because it was so strong. But it lightened up. Lord AGAM toned it down a little bit. He burned me alive in this human body here if you turn it up too high. You learn about yourself. You study the teachings of Eckankar. If you want to know the truth about yourself, you're always worried about the truth about something out there in some other aspect of this nothing-ass world called Earth. It's at the bottom rung of the totem pole. You got to work your way back up. You come here spinning. You come here spinning as light and sound. We going up out of here. We turning it around. We reversing it. And coming up out of here. It's sound and light. And that is power. We coming through. We breaking down the door. Kicking it open. And breaking up the steps. Ripping them up. We ripping that lie off. We will snatch every shred of that lie off. And the harder you try to cling to it, the more painful it will be to let go of. But if you surrender and let the lie go, it'll slide right on off. And you'll see you didn't need the shit no way. But you believe that you do, so then you do. The spirit is so great. This spirit, this divine, holy spirit is so great that it will be for you whatever you say it is. Whatever you say it is. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Whatever you say it is, it'll be that for you. If you believe in Christianity, let's just say, and you say to the Spirit, you're Jesus, you know, and that's what I want you to be to me is Jesus, then that's what it'll manifest for you. Or Islam, or Buddha, or John Henry, whatever. But another thing I wanted to mention is this. I see the younger generation, as they say, "What's up, dog?" And I might say, "Surut, G-O-D." It's easy for you to act dog-like, but how hard is it for you to be God-like? You find it comfortable being dog-like, but very uncomfortable being God-like. See, being God-like, you got to live without fear. You let them blue coats, oh, you can go kill 1,000 people or whatever and think that shows how fearless you are. No, that just shows how stupid you are. But when it comes down to it, and they say, okay, you want to do 50 in the penitentiary, or you want to go home? Keep this between us, nobody will never know. Yeah, that's when you see how fearless and strong you really are. Yeah, you holler, I rep it 100. Huh? Oh, you do. You do. Look at yourself and tell yourself the truth. I see you say it with your mouth, but I don't see you demonstrating that with your actions. There are only a few that do. But I'm that Black Panther, your motherfucking father, nigga. Do you understand that? And that is not what you do. What you're doing is not what it was supposed to be about. But J. Edgar Hoover decided that we were America's public enemy, #1. Cannot let them blacks come together as a unit. They'll take away our way of life. So they infiltrated and broke it down. But that was the way it's supposed to be. And me, coming at you like that, with language, ain't nothing but language. Only a pious-minded fool would have something to say about the language that we use. But language ain't nothing but language. You know, them fools think they decide what's acceptable and unacceptable. And they can do that for themselves. But they goddamn sure can't do it for me. Because I'm free. I no longer live by these or am bound by this world's laws and their expectations. I live free. I do a lot of things just to see the reaction I get, so I can observe, see how developed that individual is, see how they learn anything about being an unconditional lover. That's what I am. That's why the soul trusts me, because it knows that I place no conditions. Why? Because I prove it. And I'm proving it right here, right now, my loved ones. And this is my song and my word to you. Ah! Bam! May the blessings be. And I love you dearly. It's just power.